Hello guys, this is Ramola. Welcome to my channel which is Django Girl. In today's video, I am going to tell you how you can make a Django app. The very first thing, I want to clear that if you are beginner or intermediate or if you don't know about Django, if you are not a programmer, then don't worry. You will be understand each and everything even if you are not familiar with the Django framework. The very first thing that I have to tell you guys, what is a Django framework? The Django framework is used for making web application in Python language. Django makes the web application process very fast so that developer, programmer can make web application faster than any other framework. That is the main advantage of Django. So let's get started with today's session. Let's talk about Django architecture. So, in Django architecture, the very first thing which we require is urls.py file. So, url.py file, this file will look for a particular URL request and decide which function to be fired in views.py. So, views.py is this is a Python file to respond of every request by a browser. So basically, browser request about URLs, and this URL file will decide which URL should be fired, and according to that, it will send the views.py file. And views.py file contains the views, which is basically our front end part of website. That's why Python based Django framework use MTB method, that is MTB architecture, means models, template and view architecture used in web application. So very first thing we need to know is what is MTB architecture. Here models basically are the database of our website part. So there are different kinds of database that we can create in models part. Template has our front end part, that is the HTML files that we are going to make for our website. The view part has the connection between the models and the template that will bind the both together and respond to the browser. And to respond to the browser, it uses urls.py Python file. So I hope you understand the architecture of Python. So let's get started, guys. So I have started my PyCharm and I'm creating my very first application called first app in this window. So my project name is first app. So PyCharm will create a project folder called first app. In that there will be one folder which has all the files like setting.py, urls.py and some other Python files. Along with that, there will be a template folder for front end content and a manage.py file. This manage.py file will help us to manage the various application in this project, and also it will help us to run the server. So this will take time to initialize because PyCharm is going to create our virtual environment for this application. So we need not to worry about virtual environment PyCharm will create for us. So that's how we started our first application. Now the second step is to create the app. So here there is I need to say that first very first step was to create a project directory using a project name. For that we use start project. Right now we need to create a different application in that project folder. So we will going to use a start app command. So I have told you there are several files in our project directory, and right now I am going to create our first application in that. I wanted to name that application as website. So I go to my terminal. So here you can see there is a virtual environment over here, which is the first app. In that virtual environment, I am going to create our very first application in Django. For that, I am going to fire one command. This command is like Django hyphen admin start app and my application name, which is website. So command is like Django hyphen admin start app website. This command will create my website application in a main project directory called first app. It also has the same Python files like model.py file, initialization files, and some other files over here. We will create urls.py file later in this folder. The very first step that we have to do is we need to add this name in the installed on application list in setting.py file of main project. So here we go. We need to put our list. This is a list of install application in setting.py file. We need to just add our application name and that's it. We are done. So we can run this application. I'm just showing the different files structure in our folder so we can get familiar with that. This is how it's look like, the outline of our main project structure, which is we need to understand. In this part we will just run our server over here. So in Django we are going to run our server locally. For that I am going to fire one command using manage.py file. As I told you, manage.py file is used to run our server. So the command is like python manage.py run server and hit the enter key. This command will give you a URL. So click on that URL and click on that URL and you will get our local server run by Django. And that's it for this today's video.